What is up, everybody? This is Charisma. In this video, we're going to talk about how I talked to a higher up about the recent just huge nerf to the World 3 prototype hero to where it's basically useless at this point. So without further ado, we're going to talk about the details and see where this is going to go. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to preface is I will show screenshots, but I will not show their name just for privacy's sake. Some people might not care, but some people might just want to keep their name anonymous. But they are very higher up in the Roblox Lootify Discord server. I'll just say that. They're one of the top big boys. And so I'll show you the first message that I sent them. And before I do that, let me just explain something if you guys don't know. So the World 3 prototype right here, this little guy right here, got nerfed so much. It went, I think it was about a 90% nerf to just both damages. Or at least to the second one. The first one got tanked pretty hard as well. Like I was doing 700 to 750 million damage with this first hit, which you might say that's a lot, which it is, but it wasn't even regarded as the best class. The World 4 was considered better from a general consensus, but a lot of people like me like to use this one because it did a lot of damage to like singular bosses, but they tanked it so bad it went from like 700 million to about 80 million. It was horrible. It does very little. You ever have like a pencil where like it barely works and you can kind of barely write, but it like takes you just extra longer to write? You know, it's just like that. It sucks. But anyway, let's look at the screenshot. So I sent a text yesterday at 8:07 a.m. or something like that. Yeah, right there. Hey, I was wondering if the prototype 3 World 3 damage will be fixed because right now it's basically useless and other heroes are way better to use. So like, even before they got nerfed, World 4 was generally considered better. So why would you tank the second one if it's not even regarded as the best one? It's so dumb. And then it forces player to have to grind and switch and start to level 1 and put more crystals in. So now I have to switch to a different class, which means I have to grind. And getting the profit is going to be my best choice, but that takes a long time. You need like, 45 total. I mean, I got like 20 or so, which isn't bad, but like, yeah, you need a lot. And then when you switch, you go to Mastery 1, and I'm pretty sure, like, these stats and such, like these luck stats and damage stats, they go away. So I lose all these stats, and I have to regrind it, get my Mastery up, and then I think I have to reinvest more crystals into it, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, let's go to our next screenshot that I'll show you what this person said, and then I'll show you the one what I replied to him, and let me know, just to let you guys know, I do not agree with this statement. The person says, technically it should be called an optimization, not a fix. This is a good proposal you can save for this week's discussion with the devs. Please follow a hashtag announcement channel. And I read that and I was like, okay. And then I thought about it and I just like, was pondering on it. And I'm like, no, the statement is not correct. It should not be called an optimization. It should be called a fix. Because the implication is this ability is broken in the sense that it's useless. If it's useless, it's broken, So that's where I'm just like, it needs to be fixed, because eventually it was super strong, wasn't even the best ability, but it's still super strong, and then it went from useless, that other abilities are way more better to use than this one. So it's not optimizing it. They did not optimize that by any means. They should fix it. They should make it useful again. They should make it a value again. It does not have that. So in my point of view, we can play the semantics game. It's broken. It's stupid. It's garbage. It's worthless. And you know what the funny part is, which gets me aggravated? It's in the update and such. Like they didn't say. Where did it say that they nerfed it? It's like they just like let this like just casually just let this happen, not say anything to the casual players. It's so dumb. Like, be more transparent, guys. Like, Jeezel Pete's freaking aggravates me. So let me show you the third screenshot. I said, yeah, I don't think I agree with that. Going from super useful to not worth it at all, it should be fixed, not optimized. But I'll definitely try to give my input in the week's discussion. So apparently they're doing like a week's discussion thing where they want to hear feedback, I think, from the community. And so there's like forums and such where you can give game suggestions. And this person named Erwing55 came out with a really good one. Basically said, let's talk about the pointless prototype 0 nerf and the necessary and fair nature of his return before the March 28th update. Throughout this month, I've already talked about which each soul is good at and what they excel at or above what type of player they are. I said that Blade was good for movement and bossing, which in short terms means that he's good for doing dungeons and from start to finish, good at killing minions and good at killing bosses. So it's a balanced soul being a 50-50 movement and bossing. I said the Prophet was the same as Blade, but much better because he has 3 abilities, which is always hit 100% of the time. Aimbot. Nobody talks about that, but it still seems like the soul to me slightly balanced, being 50-50 movement and bossing. About the Sovereign, well, at the time I said what made him good was his healing. I still maintain that because I believe he was the worst soul until March 28th happened, and now there's someone worse. Returning to the topic, it is good for healing and other aspects. It does not stand out, so it's a soul that is not balanced. Now, speaking of the most effective prototype 0, let's talk about and how the journey has been so far. In games, there has always been a character / movement / element I consider a nuke or nuclear in the case of damage. The prototype was always that nuke, and it's the only thing he was good at because he was 100% in bossing. Well, and mobbing, it is really bad, so I don't understand who thought it was a good idea to nerf it. The only thing it was good at, now there's no reason or motive to use it because literally anything is better than even attacking with weapons is better. Is that okay? They kill the purpose of the soul to be a nuke. So your weapons are better than your abilities, which is like, who ever thought about that? That's so dumb. Like, and they didn't even announce it, and it just like, and then it's like, oh, we'll just submit your things to the community thing. And it's like, it's just mind-boggling because it's just such a blatant, just like nerf, like a flat out, just horrible, just a flat out freaking horrible nerf. So. And actually, if you go to the Infinity World, the Infinity Island, and try to do the last one with this new ability, the new nerf of it, it's really hard to do. I don't even know if I can complete it because that basically helped me just get slightly more profit coins or whatever. So, yeah, it's freaking stupid. And then like, let's see, but yeah, and they have this one. Just buff the damage of boss 3, so I don't care how long it takes to cast skill. I like the risk reward of dealing high damage in exchange for a cast long time. Now it just feels weak. It is definitely weak. That has 27 of that and then 5 of that. Yep. It's so dumb. It's just dumb. It just needs to be fixed. And the person that I talked to said it was a good suggestion, so I appreciate that. And hopefully they get a freaking barrage with people saying, yo, it's trash. The nerf is trash. Why would you go from nerfing it 90% basically? Like, that just is dumb. It's just dumb. So, yeah, I wanted to give you guys that. I really like this game. I enjoy it in a lot of ways. I just think they've made some couple stupid decisions that just don't make sense. Like, whoever, if you're watching this and whoever made that final decision, that is the dumbest decision you could have made. One of them. Because you're not balancing the characters. You're making one just super trash. Where if it's like, if this one's here, but all the other ones are up here, like, it's trash. And it's World 3. You would think, like, it would be slightly better than World 2 and World 1 because, harder to get. You gotta grind a little bit, higher to get to that and such. But nope. I mean, overall, I love the game. I enjoy it. I've made decent amount of content on it. I'll continue to make content. I'll continue to give the goods and the bads. They work hard. They're transparent in a lot of ways about like the update schedule and such and what they plan to add. Like, I really admire that. That is fantastic. They do a phenomenal job at that. There's games I played that just, they'll go months without updating and they won't say a peep, and it drives me nuts because it's just like, as a player, you just feel not cared for. Like, oh, we're just not gonna, we're not gonna work on the game, or at least let other people know. But like this game, Lootify, the developers and such, they like make like nice pictures of week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Phenomenal. When I first started playing this game, it was only World 1. You only had World 1. World 2 was not even out yet. So I've been playing relatively since the very beginning. It was like Christmas time where they had like the Christmas dungeons or something like that. Somewhere around there. And I've seen it grow. I've seen it go from World 1 and now it's almost to World 5. I've seen it just, grow. And it's really cool to be a part of that process. And to see all the cool things that they added along the way. And that they're continually active on it. and they're transparent in a lot of ways. But nerfing an ability by 90% is just uncalled for. They should not do that. But I think I said enough. I think I'm just, going around in circles. Overall, it's a great game. I love it. But I don't know if one person made that decision or a group of them, but hopefully you guys will not make decisions like that. So you guys all have a good one. I appreciate you all, and bye-bye.